I learned something pretty cool recently, and a good analogy for it is working out. If you've ever lifted weights, maybe you had somebody tell you, hey, make sure you're like trying to bend the bar, or make sure you're trying to push your elbows up instead of your wrists, or little cues like that to help you activate the correct muscles, because it takes a certain amount of effort, time, and experience to get a good connection to a muscle and be able to activate it correctly, right? So here's the analogy I'm going to draw. Similar things can be done for your brain and the way that you think, and I finally had one work for me recently. There's this saying that everybody's got that's like, you got to learn to enjoy the process, right? Like there's no point in trying to build something if you hate it every minute you're doing it and you're just focus, and you're not able to enjoy the process. And logically I knew that and I understood it, but it was really hard to put into practice. For example, if I stopped work for the day and I went to hang out with some friends, and this is still a bit of a problem. It's like sometimes I can't focus on anything but what I could be doing or what I'm going to do next. And it's like, you got to learn to enjoy the process. It can't just be worrying all the time and thinking and planning. And I heard a bunch of different ways of describing how to approach that. And the one that stuck for me was when I was reading this essay. And it was just a mental cue. It was like the workout thing. And it's really simple. It's just, you've got to learn to keep things in their separate spheres. And for some reason, that mental cue just worked. It's like, okay, if I'm hanging out with friends, I'm not in the work sphere right now. Like, you can compartmentalize it a little bit. It's like, why would you let the work sphere overlap with the hanging out with your friends sphere? It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, that little mental cue, I guess it sparked off a little shift in the way that I see the world, which is always a good thing. Well, not always a good thing, but in this case it was. And hopefully that little cue can be helpful for somebody else out there too.